Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that the show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show. Welcome back.
Welcome back,
folks.
Oh, and welcome if for some reason this is your first episode.
Hello. Where's...
Hello.
I need a better, like...
Maybe Post-it notes? That's what I'm thinking.
I need something... Maybe they're too small? What am I looking for?
You know what? So we're talking about...
Hater!
That's
That's
talking
what
about Chip's soundboard.
I think Cerny... Do you need your own soundboard?
I do.
We could have Cerny his own drops.
Would
Would it get too chaotic, do you think? Or... It's tough to sort of...
With great responsibility...
Comes great
power.
There we go.
I don't know.
Duh. Okay. Very good.
Okay. Today.
On this week's episode of Chip and Cern, I had the opportunity to hit some fancy golf.
Ooh, some bougie golf.
Fancy boy. Oh, I have a... Oh, see? Now I'm looking for it. Maybe I should sort them by like what they are. Is it a person's drop? Is it a person's name?
So you know those mats that they do for typing, like helping kids type? Like maybe like, and then like sticker them and then...
Oh, I need
that's
that.
what I'm thinking.
Because I have bougie bitch. There we go. Bougie golf. Thank you. Bougie bitch. I'll add it in there later. So, as you know, Chip and Cern.
Is it bougie bitch? Golf.
Bougie bitch. Bougie bitch.
Golf.
And now we have a new one. We golf. Now, this year, we've golfed about 10x compared to last. On average, what would you say per year?
Prior to this year was once
a year, and your company annual company tournament.
I would literally blow the dust off from
caught fucking brown recluse spiders in there and shit. Yeah. This year, we've already outpaced it. We've already had 2 full 18-hole rounds, and then we have another one coming up.
We do.
We might actually be halfway decent by the time that one comes around. So
there's guys that work there actually going out every weekend right now.
At that same course?
They're just going around different courses because they're saying if you play different courses, you learn how the plays and the lies. And,
sure.
And I was like, wow. Usually, I'm worried about what beer I'm having by the second hole.
Yeah.
Not about the play and the lie, but that's okay.
Yeah. How am I going to score a BJ today? Not how am I going to get fucking double bogey on something?
Okay, so he said, you know those golf... there you go. Those golf balls, Costco's? Those ones everybody wants.
Yeah.
The Pro V1.
The Kirkland.
Yeah, the Kirkland.
But they're just rebranded Pro V1s.
Yeah. So this guy at work was telling me, oh, you got to get some. Dude, these things fly. They're straight. And I was like, oh. He's like, you got to get, it'll prove your game. I was like, I use range balls because I lose so many.
Oh,
so
that's true.
It doesn't matter.
Now, Joe
smells.
He, out of all of our friends, he is leaps and bounds. I mean, he is legit. He told us he hit today. He was 3 under after 9.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 holes, Cerny were probably...
3 under before I tee off on the first.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, if Cerny and I legit... Over. Here's how bad we are at golf. If we legit kept score like out of bounds and drops and all this rehits and the fucking mulligans that we're doing and the give me's, you know, if it's 2 club lengths from the hole and whatever, like we'll count it. I would say in 9 holes... What's a normal score, actually? If par is 72, so what would that be? That's like 36.
36.
If par is 36 on 9, Cern and I probably...
We're probably at 72 at least. Not really, but...
I mean, we'd probably be like...
60s.
58.
I think usually we were 58, 59.
Okay.
Usually where we hit.
Yeah. And that's if us keeping score. So we're not good.
Not at all.
And we're not good because we don't play that much. And when we were younger, Chip and Cern Show V1 ages, we like one summer we caught the fucking bug and we were playing 2 or 3 times a week.
And it's not like we were good, but we were
with consistency comes.
Yeah, we were we would be getting decent. We were a little decent.
Yeah.
I mean, for our standards. I mean, we're not going to go hit the fucking the tour.
Yeah. Oh, please no. We're not joining a country club anytime soon.
Anyway,
and so we had a golf show that we talked about. Dana's bachelor party. We golfed, and was it your birthday? It was your birthday.
Yeah, we golfed.
So it was Cerny's birthday one weekend. The very next weekend was Dana's bachelor party. We golfed again, and I got a text from a friend. And he's like, "Dude, you guys sound like you'd be a blast to play golf with because we're just fucking slapdicks the whole time, right? We're not we don't take ourselves seriously. We're just crushing beers, fucking chewing our faces off with fucking Levi Garrett and all this shit."
Practical joke.
Fucking undoing Joe's bag, dropping his clubs all over the place. We're going to snap his head off his fucking big Sasquatch driver one day. He's kills with it. So I have now, believe it or not, Chip and Cern have friends outside of Chip and Cern.
We do.
I mean, outside of Dana, Joe, and Tony, Cern has other friends, and I have my friends as well. I mean, separate friends. Anyway, whatever. So my Chip's other friends.
You have something to tell me, Chip?
No, Cerny, I'll always be faithful to you.
I was thinking of you the whole time, I swear.
When I was getting a dick blister, I was thinking of you, Cerny. I do, or in a former life, pre-child, and I do endurance sports, triathlon, marathons, and all this shit.
Oh, okay. You're okay. I'm sorry. It's a pre-child. I was like, you pre-child, your child.
Oh,
not Charlie, but
yeah.
I mean you as a child. Like, wait, what the hell?
Hold on, how does he remember that? That was a long time.
Chipper's ghost.
So these are like very type A people to the max. Like, hey, if it's good to run 10 miles, it must be better to run 13.
Wow, okay.
Like all this kind of like, let's one up everything.
Go-getters.
So a guy in a group of friends is a fan. Actually, Michael, who did our logo design, he had a daughter, and his baby mama said, hey, he's been such a good support for me and my son. She has, they're a member of Bay Club, this fancy gym. And she said, it's kind of like Lifetime Fitness, over in your area. Oh, yeah. And she goes, I'm going to buy you guys a round of golf at this Bay Club Stone Tree.
Oh.
Do you want in? And I'm like, well, what, free golf? Sure. So I said, okay. I said, I'm not good. And then the other guy that was joining, he's a fan of the show, I think. He's listened a couple times. He's like, well, I can't listen to you when my kid's in the car, but when they fall asleep, I'll put the headphones on. I'll be listening.
Okay.
When everyone's sleeping, I'm like, well,
understandable.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking about fucking dick blisters for 4 episodes in a row. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go golf. And I'm in we're on Facebook, and I'm like, guys, I'm fucking horrible. They maybe have heard the episode. I'm bad. We fuck around a lot of fucking slapdickery going on. Yeah. A lot of drinking.
Hijinks.
And my wife, who is good at golf, gets peeved, annoyed that we're like, she's like, well, usually, when people golf, they're actually getting exercise. They're not, getting just drunk out there and all this stuff. I mean, you could see her saying this, right? And, do you actually count the drops or, anyway. So
we don't play best ball? Wait, what?
I was like, I'm playing whatever your guys' best hit. I'm driving up next to in the golf car. I'm going to fucking hit from there. I'm just out there to have fun. I'm not, like Cerny said, I'm not trying to get on the tour.
No.
So this place is literally 6 minutes from my house. So like, we're going to play here. And I remember driving by it. I'm like, oh, I know this is a nice course. So the day before I drive out just
is the one over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, if you come off to get real local, 37, it's that one right there.
Okay. That's why I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks cool.
That was the one.
Oh shit.
And so I drove. Charlie fell asleep in the car, so I dropped my wife off at home to let Charlie or my daughter nap. And I was like driving around. I'm like, let me check this course out that I'm playing tomorrow. I drove up, and there's like a fucking looked like a rock castle out from like Ireland or something, like what Robin Hood would fight.
The Rock of Gibraltar out there.
And I'm looking, and like, I mean, just exquisitely manicured greens, like a stripper's fucking trimmed landing strip on her puss. Just the fairways, and the courses that Cerny and I play at. How much for a round of golf at Antelope Greens? That par
like $30.
Yeah, like $30 for the cart for me and Cerny.
Yeah.
It's like 15 each.
Yeah, 15 each. Yeah.
And this one, so I went on. I looked.
That was the golf course. You never take your all irons. All irons.
Oh right, you don't even take your driver. It's only par 3.
Yeah. I think we got a ban
because I hit somebody
right in the back.
Whoops. Rip. So I'm driving through, and there's like parking, and then there's.
Didn't even know up to it. We just fucking ran.
We just ran. We couldn't. I mean, we didn't. We were wanted men after that point.
Okay, go on.
I'm like, this place is. I text Ernie. I was like, the likes of me and you would not be welcome here. I don't know how much membership it's one of these places you have to be a member, right? And the place by your house is pretty nice.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't as you said. He was Marco Polo me like I was like, oh, that's nice. And by my house, or it's not as nice. I mean, they stopped us at the fucking parking lot with
our
the beer
Yeti chest. And actually, we played at that Morgan Creek. And this is, I mean, if you don't live in Roseville area or into golf, you probably fucking pick a different episode. Would you say Morgan Creek is nicer than yours?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it because it's a private. At one point, it was like a private.
Yeah.
Community. You had to be
before the downturn.
It cost $40,000 a year for membership and 10,000 feet, like the kind of nice country club. So we played at some okay places. This place, I was like, fuck, this isn't gonna be good. So I look online at this, and for a round of golf is $150. Oh. Now I got it for free. I don't know if they got a discount or whatever. I'm like. That's costly for golf. So I'm like, okay. I felt bad because I'm like, I'm gonna waste this money.
Yeah.
Essentially. And I had my balls that my brother, there was like a golf store that was going out of business by him, and he just bought me a bunch of these cheap Wilson balls that I have, and I bought and like, so I get there in the morning. Tee time's 7:30. Get there around 7. Drive up. They have literally 24 golf carts out, like a fleet of them.
Oh.
And they have a guy washing them and everything. We pull up. Scorecards are in there, everything. I pull up to this like rock castle where I go in and check, and they're like, "Oh, please sign in on the iPad." Oh, like Chipper, blah, blah, blah. Here's my email. And my friend goes, I'm like, "Oh, congratulations to the kid." He goes, "Oh, I got a couple of sleeves of balls for you." And he had the Pro V1 sleeves. I'm like, "Don't waste your money on me."
Yeah.
I was like, a sleeve is $20 or something, right? For 3 balls?
$5 a ball, I think. When I read Joe was.
Oh, at least.
Joe uses those, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for Joe, it probably helps him.
It makes sense.
For me, they're going in the fucking brush.
Yeah. And for me, it's the water.
Drink. Run the drink. I said, "I'm not going to use those. Please don't buy any for me."
Yeah.
Literally, I don't want to waste your money.
I'm going to waste fucking $5 on the.
So we go up. All these carts are out. We kind of put our bags in the front. A attendant takes them, puts them in, straps them in. We pull up. There's already tees in the golf cart, and I start looking at this golf cart a little bit more. It has its own ice chest attached to the thing, to the side of it. I look in. There's already a couple bottles of water in there for us.
Okay. That's nice.
I look in. There's tees. They have like a little tee slot, so there's like 6 tees in there. I'm like, oh, that'll last me for a couple holes. 1 hole. I pull out of my bag. I'm like, of course. Again, I don't even have golf shoes. I'm hitting in fucking Chuck Taylors.
Me too.
And I'm there, and I'm like, I take 3 sleeves out of my bag, and I just like shake them, and I start just loading the thing, and they're like, oh, my friends are like, "Oh, you're getting 3 sleeves out right now." I'm like, "Yeah, you guys don't like blow through golf balls." I mean, as Cerny said, you resort to sending your children after range balls at night around the golf course.
I have talked about that, and I just recently did that because we went walking, and it was like
they're like, oh, I
7
found a golf ball.
o'clock.
You're like, oh,
yeah. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, in fact, Zach's like, there's this golf ball. It says I said Titleist. I said, yeah. It says like Pro V. I said, give me the ball.
Just dollar sign went around it.
Can I have that? Yeah, give me the ball. So then, like, we would go out walking, and come back around. It's well past dusk.
Yeah.
Kids like, can we go? I'm like, go get some golf balls.
Yeah. Daddy's he's got 18 tomorrow. You got to go get him. I'm seeing here. I'm on the website Golf Advisor website about this. Top golf courses in California is rated number 10.
Ooh.
In 2014. Wow. So I get there in the morning. Ice chest. I load my golf balls in, and they have a little mini driving range out there, and they have little mini. They're like this tall. What's this? 2 feet?
Yeah, about 2 feet.
It's like a 2 foot by 1 foot mini golf bag. They have like 10 stations, and they're full of golf balls. And then there's just this net, and you could just hit whatever you want into it.
Okay.
I was like, might as well work out a couple kinks to work on here. And my friend's hitting, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was hitting. He's like, oh, well, you're good. I'm like, no, I'm not good. I'm just fucking around, right? And to walk to this place, you walk near this like beautiful fountains, like a lake. There's fucking koi. There's turtles in there and shit. I'm like, what the it's like out of a James Bond movie or something. And there's a huge clock that has like, it's Rolex, like a Rolex clock. And the guy goes,
Goldfinger comes out and greets you.
Yeah. Goldfinger. Goldfinger. The sort of attendant that was helping us, he loaded up our golf carts and everything. He goes, hey, you guys can go hit for a little bit. Just come back here around 7:25 and I'll let you out. Okay. I'm like, okay. So we come back 7:25. He walks over, puts the key in to the cart, turns it on. It's as big as the iPad, like a regular size iPad.
Okay.
Up above in the center. And it has
on the roof.
On the roof, and it has you can put Chip and CERN, whoever's playing, electronic scorecard, scorecard. Yep.
Like a Buddy Joe.
Typewriter and everything. So they let us go out. So we go to the first hole, and we're like, okay, boys, everyone's like, oh, I'm so old, and all this shit. And everyone's like, we know nobody's good, right? Can we just say this? I'm going to fucking dink a couple, and they're like, well, if you don't make it past the ladies' tee, you got to take your next drive. You got to have your cock out of your pants. I'm like, fuck. I said, well, I'm a grower, not a shower, so it's not going to I can't get the little guy out right now. It's cold, too, in the morning, 7:30. And so we're going, and I'm like, I'm not going first. New dad, you go first. So he hits it. Decent shot. I'm like, okay, it's like a par 4 or whatever. And I go up there. I mean, it's a fucking coin flip, right? It's like a prayer. Tee up my fucking dog shit golf ball. Deep breath. I'm just like, okay. Fucking 220 dead center down the fairway. And they're like, damn, you fucking ringer. And I'm like, okay. I mean, and they're different. I mean, I like these friends, but it's not like hanging with, the Chip and CERN show crew, Joe and Dana. And I'm like, okay. And I was kind of busting balls a little bit, like, oh, get hit it with your purse next time and all this stuff. It wasn't as well received. So I started to dial it back a little bit, as we're like driving up to park our cars. No one was cracking beers or anything.
So that scene in Dumb and Dumber where Jim Carrey fucking hits what the fuck his face? Jeff Daniels in the back of the legs. I always half expected when I'm doing that someone's going to just hit me in the back of the legs.
I say with the crew that we had golf with this year, it's just, how can we make it just the most ridiculously
even
fun
if
thing?
I have a good hit, I already know that someone's going to say, nice hit for a bitch, or something,
So we were going, and a couple of these, I mean, so it was the threesome.
Yeah.
I had the balloon knot. Oh. And they're like, great hitch. And I'm like waiting for like,
wait.
hold on, what's the,
For a bitch.
yeah. Well, what's the knockout punch on this?
Great hit for somebody with one arm.
Yeah. And
that was like with Andy when we.
Oh yeah.
Nice hit, guys. I was like,
we're all defensive.
You being serious? Yeah.
He's like, yeah, good job.
Andy, I gotta be straight with you.
Right.
You're too good. You're too good.
Too
too
nice
kind to be going with us.
So the first hole, I actually got 1 over.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Oh,
the day's already successful.
That's a
for
win.
me. No golf shoes.
Only single bogey? Woo!
Yeah.
High fives.
And I'm like in the fairway, and they're like, wow, nice drive, Chip. And so this golf cart, when you're in there, when you drive up, it has the hole there, and you could literally, it shows you how many yards to the pin from where the golf cart is, and you could tap on the touch screen, like, hey, I want to hit it center fairway, and it will say 189.
Wow.
And then it will point like there, and then it will say, oh, to here, it's 27, and then to the pin, and it shows you all this, and you can, there's a button for approach shot, so it goes like, 62 yards to the front of the green, 89 to the back, and it shows the pin. It shows like the most fucking fancy shit that I've ever seen, right? And it, like,
you mean you don't have a Joe sitting there with his beer open, like, Joe, what do I swing?
I know. Which is exactly. So I was like, guys, what club goes 220? I mean, or I know the driver.
Yeah.
So I hit the driver, and then I'm like, okay, it says we're 119. I'm like, 9? And this other guy, he goes, I'm hitting a 4. I'm like,
119?
I don't know. Maybe he's a little guy. I don't know. Maybe.
I'd use my pitching wedge for that.
Cerny's like lob. Everything with Cerny. If it's under 200, lob wedge.
Lob. Remember Joe? I'm like, dude, I'm swinging 100%. Right. I'm swinging with the fences here, guys.
And this was the cool thing about playing with Joe, and it helped me and Cerny. Like, he's very knowledgeable, so he would go, well, you could hit your 8. You got to hit it 75% though. And Joe has his fucking sniper's Eagle's Nest rangefinder on there.
Shooter out there.
Yeah, he goes, okay, the pin, it's 172. So, Cern, I go with the 6, but I take it 80. And Chip, you can go 5 iron, and you can hit it 100%. Cool, thanks, Joe. Here's another course. Like, so we go out there.
It's already open.
And it's my second hit on hole 1. And don't worry, folks, I'm not going to give you a hole-by-hole fucking breakdown on this. We'll be here all night. Cerny's looking at me like, God fucking Christ, wrap it up, Chip.
So how many steps do you take to the hole?
Right. So
35 steps to the ball.
A brisk walk on my approach shot. And
the wind was coming in about 5 degrees.
It rustled my nutsack hair very so slightly, southeastern wind. And I hit whatever I hit. And like, the nicer courses, there's some that are very forgiving.
Yes.
And then this one on the first hole, the sand pit is literally like a fucking cave.
Oh,
like it goes down. And I'm like,
yeah.
Before I'm like, it's going in the sand pit. I'll just let you know now. No matter what I do, it's going in there.
Yeah. Chip always hits in the sand pit. Cern always hits in the water.
Well, guess what?
Sand pit.
Sure enough, sand pit.
Yeah. Beach day.
And so I'm waiting for all this, like, confidence eroders snipers from Joe to come out, because I will say Joe takes a beating on the Chip and Cern show,
but he is on
the golf course, Joe's the sniper.
He's the mind fuck for Cern. Joe just has to look my way, and I will fuck up 100%.
It's the greatest thing ever to watch. But I mean,
seriously, I could hit the ball when he wasn't looking. It was decent. I was having some decent shots. I put them together. The minute that fucking guy turned around and looked at me, it was in my head, and I couldn't do it.
And it was, Joe would be up almost another hole, or he'd be on the green waiting for us to tee off. All he had to do was literally like turn up when Cerny, and Cerny's like, oh shit. And I'm like, Cerny, just fucking saw that shit out of you.
Because I would know, like, every once in a while on the backswing, you would hear something, and it's just it just gets you.
It's too good.
Anyway.
So I hit it in the sand, and then I got a 4 or whatever. I'm like, oh, Chipper, you're a fucking ringer, right? I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah. So we play a couple holes. Yeah. And I was, to be honest, the first 4 or 5 holes, I was surprising myself. I'm like, wow, this is not bad. I actually got a legit par on a hole.
Oh.
I fucking call my wife. I'm like, I got a legit par. She's like, good job, honey. Look at my fucking.
I got a par.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We did not eat the crayons for one day. Congratulations. So that was good. And then, as you know, the wheels kind of started to unravel a little bit. So the front nine was good. The guys behind us were kind of playing up our ass a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, and you know when we play, we'll tee off and we'll fucking shank city and we'll go, fuck it, I'm hitting another one. We'll go get another ball and do it. Like, I understand that that's not acceptable in most places.
Yeah.
And this was definitely one of them. And the fucking fairways were like a bee's dick wide.
Oh,
and I'm like, I need wide open spaces, like the Dixie Chicks said. And it needs to curve to the right as well, because that's where fucking that's where my hook goes, or slice, one of the two.
Righty, slice, yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, so they were kind of playing up our ass a little bit, and we were kind of talking. We're like, well, we should just let them play through. And then we kind of have a good hole where a guy didn't fucking like hit it 10 times to get it to 200 feet or whatever, 200 yards.
He didn't hockey dribble it over there.
Now, yeah, so we were going. Now, one guy we were playing with, Jeff, God bless him. I was trying to keep like, somewhat accurate score. So if I hit it out of bounds and I needed to drop, I would give myself the stroke.
Okay.
And then if I got a gimme putt, I would give another on there, right? Like, I was keeping decent track. Now, maybe he told us he hadn't golfed on a course for like 6 years. So all things considered, he did pretty well. But I would run into a drive and I'd hit it like 200 yards.
Blindfold.
Then he would
finds a nut every once in a while.
Then he would top it and it would go 50 yards. And then he hit his 4 and it would go another 50. So he hit like 2 or 3 things.
The slow and steady.
Yeah. And then he'd get to my ball area. And then at the end of the hole, I go, I got a 6. What'd you get? He goes, I got a 5. I'm like, 1, 2. He goes, well, if I'm not, he goes, I don't count my drop. I don't count. Like, he doesn't count negative. Like, he doesn't count bad.
Okay.
He goes, well, Chipper drove it this far, so I'm going to subtract.
Until I get to that point.
Yeah. I'm going to subtract the 3 shots it took to get to Chipper's ball. And not like I was fucking mashing it,
Fucking O'Neal and kick it out there.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at the virtual scorecard, because when you drive, and at first I was like, that's kind of annoying, because me and the other guy that were playing, we were kind of keeping decent track.
Okay.
And I look up at the scores and I'll be like 6, 6, 7. He's like 5, 5, 4, 4. I'm like, I'm out hitting this guy by like 5 strokes every fucking hole, and he's going to have an 80 or something, right? And so at first I'm like, you really got a 6? How did you get that if I got a 7? Like, it doesn't make sense. He goes, oh, I don't count the. I'm like, okay, you're the only guy out of the threesome that's not counting legit or whatever.
Fine.
So I kind of let it go, but I internalized my anger. So we did the 9 holes and it was good, and then we went to the back 9, and I was like, yeah, it was bad. And I mean,
see, Chip and CERN. Let me just side note.
Yes,
here. We're yin and yang. Chip internalizes. I externalize. Right?
Do I externalize at all? I mean, I will sometimes.
Sometimes, but most of the time, I think you internalize.
I'll let it build up, and
then it'll
build
really
up. Blow up.
Yeah. And usually, I just I shout about everything and never really blow. Never really.
Yeah, that's why it works so well together.
Go on. Sorry.
No. When do we usually crack the first beer or throw in the first lip of chewing Levi Garrett?
Hold 2 or 3. I think that's when we started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think.
Because I think on both times it was, we would tee off and kind of.
Right. You got to tee off
and then
sober,
we'd fuck.
at least.
Yeah. Then we'd fuck it up. Like, all right, give me the beer.
Right.
All right, that's it. Fuck it.
Or, hey, we're smoking some cigars or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
So.
Whatever our vice.
Yeah.
Throw in the vice.
Right. Heroin? Sure. All mainline. It doesn't matter. Snort it, whatever you need.
Off Joe's ass? Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, off his tits, too. Right in his fucking sweater vest. So it was clear that the crew wasn't. And it was also like I forget 7:30 is like early, and by the time we were done with 9 holes, it was only, it was only 9 o'clock. Yeah. And I was like, I could use a beer. I mean, to be honest, take the edge off a little bit.
I've been up for
so we got to
3 hours. We're good.
We got to hole 12.
Okay.
And like I said, these guys were playing up our ass the whole time. There was a couple par 3s, and these ones are like, it's par 3, but it's fucking like uphill and shit. I was out of and by that time, my fucking game had slumped considerably.
You were in a rut.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever. And before we started playing, I'm like, the foot wedge cool to use? And like, oh, the foot wedge? And I'm like, oh, like, if you're in the fucking rough, kick it in the fairway to get a better lie for yourself. And they're like, well, let's play kind of legit. I'm like, okay, they're kind of serious.
All right, I get it.
So that went out the window after about 9 holes because we're like, okay, all of us suck. We kind of got this. And these guys were playing up our ass, and we just teed off, and the fucking cart guy pulls up. And we're like, oh, shit, I thought it was the guys behind us, and they were ready, and we were going to let him play through. And he goes, can I get you guys anything? I'm like, oh, water is kind of heating up a little bit. I had some cha, and I was like, oh, I got to rinse my mouth out. And he's like, oh, it's in your ice chest. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Our swanky-ass golf carts have a couple bottles of water in there for us. Ice. People could put. I said, well, when's the beer coming around? And he goes, well, she'll be around soon, but if you guys really want some, and this is like a very nice country club thing that you're at. And he goes, if you want some, I can go grab it for you. I'm like, cool. Like, you guys want a beer? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, 6 Sierra Nevadas. For 3 guys, we'll get some put in the ice chest, and you won't have to see us again. So he came back like a half a hole later. He's like, oh, this is my first day here. I'm like, oh, me too. He came back.
Ditto.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, we didn't have Sierra Nevada. The bar wasn't open or something. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
The bar was open.
Drinking before the bar opens. And he's like, actually, I think we had him. They got him from...
For Joe, that's called Monday.
Right. It's getting ready for work. It's hectic, like double IPA cans. We had those, right?
Yeah,
or they have them.
Yeah.
So he goes,
that'll make it sleepy.
They didn't have Sierra Nevada, so we got these like double IPAs. I'm like, cool. Fucking $20, 3 beers or something. I was like, whatever. Here's $25. Thanks. He literally drove all the way back and drove the cart all the way. So
he earned it.
Yeah, he did. He did earn his keep. So had the beer. It's starting to get hot. I'm like, okay. My fucking from hole like 12 to 18 was just fucking dog shit. See, I probably lost 6 balls.
When it gets hot like that, the golf course, this is where we'll co-sign with Joe on the Coors Lights.
Yeah, you need the hydration.
I mean, we give him shit about it, but when we were golfing and it was starting to get kind of hot, I was like, oh, those Coors Lights.
Yeah.
We started pounding that. I was like, oh, this is great.
It was good. And so the course is so nice. It's challenging as well. Okay. And I don't need that for my golf.
No.
I need a
layup.
Yeah, I need a layup. Thank you, sir. I need a layup. And I wasn't getting it. And by the end, it was hole 16. I was about ready to just say, I'll just drive in with you guys. I'll drive the cart for you because I kept...
I'm taking a spare the rest of
every driver, I was fucking shanking it. It was just bad news. And I was just getting pissed. And the last hole, it was like, whatever. These guys were playing our ass the whole day. We got done literally 4 hours on the mark. I'm like, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's pretty
right?
quick. Yeah, I think.
And then we're like, hey, we teed off at 7:35 and we got done at 11:30. I picked my ball up off the green because I was like, fucking, I ain't even putting this bullshit anyway. And then we're like, hey, let's get lunch and whatever. So we had 1 beer. And I was like, I know.
In 18?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. Might as well have been fucking sober. And I had my bag, the one bag that we have for 2 years of the Levi. And like, you guys want a cha? And they're like, no thanks. These are triathlon people, right?
Yeah,
they're very healthy, they go months without drinking. And I didn't know you did that. I'm like, I don't really, but when it's golfing, I just throw a cha in. And they're like, And then I was like spitting out fucking like motor oil, and they're like, they're like, oh.
When we were golfing and Joe was spitting, it was like dribbling down.
I do, Joe. Yeah, it was like in the cricks of his chick.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
and so we got done, and we went up, and we had a nice lunch. I had like a wrap, and they got some sandwiches and stuff. And we had another beer. They had $3 Anchor Steam lagers on sale.
I do enjoy those.
And then there was some golf thing they were walking, and
Anchor Steam. If you would like more plugs on Chip and Stern Show.
Yeah, the first one's free.
Email us at chipandsternshow@gmail.com. Hey, sorry, go
on. So we had lunch, and then the guy, like, we literally sat down at the table. The guy that was running up our ass the whole day walked in maybe 5 minutes after us.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the key point. Not key point.
The lead.
Yeah. We pulled in to the fleet service area for the golf carts.
Fleet services.
And I pulled in, and there's like 2 or 3 guys waiting. And a guy walks up. He has a rag. He starts shining my clubs, like wiping them off and clean. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, sir, don't waste your time. These were $100.
They haven't been cleaned in
years. How was the day, boys? You know, just kind of shooting the shit. I'm like, I'm glad to be done. Yeah. To be honest. And like the scorecard, they're like, you can email it to yourself. What's your email? And I'm like, no record of this, please.
I don't know if people say this.
Yeah, it's not worth. I didn't realize it went to 4 digits. But we get there, so we go in, we sit down. The guy's like shining. He goes, "Where are you going to pick your clubs up? Because you can drive your car from the parking lot. You can drive it around this like roundabout, and there's like a golf bag rack that you can just drive up, and so that way you don't have to carry your clubs all the way to your car." Very fancy.
Yes.
So they're shining it, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about the trash." And my friend even rented some clubs, and he was shining them up, and he goes, "I'll carry them in." The guy's like, "No, sir, we'll take care of it." I'm like, just the serve, and I'm like, the chipper doesn't deserve this. No. Let's be honest. So we go up and we're having our sandwiches, and we sit there, and 5 minutes later, the guy that was driving up our ass the whole time walks in with a fucking red polo shirt, the cocksucker, sits at the bar, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy that was behind us, him and his buddies, the whole time. And so a guy and his son are at a table, and the red shirt guy that was behind us goes, "Oh, you guys are right on our ass the whole day." And the guy's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And he goes, "Yeah, the guys in front of us are really slow." I like kind of look over, and he's like, he kind of like realized what was going on. Yeah. I was like, that guy's talking shit about us right now to my buddies. And everyone kind of like looked over at him. He was like, "Oh, yes." And I'm like, I mean, I'm not Tiger Woods, right?
Yeah.
But 4 hours is I asked my wife when I got home, I'm like, is 4 hours relatively like acceptable for 18 holes of golf?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's like kind of standard for the thing. And I'm like, it's not, I mean, they were just down, and he was talking shit about us and stuff. Anyway, that was my fantasy golf day.
Sounds fun.
It was. And then I came home, and I timed it just right. My daughter was like just about to go to sleep. So I was like, oh, hi, like daddy's home and stuff. And they're like, oh, nap time 10 minutes later. I'm like, I asked my wife, well, it was like 1, thank you. Solid. And let me go out for 4 or 6 hours pretty much. And I was like, do you think, would you be mad if I like took a nap when she's sleeping? And she's like, go ahead. I'm like, oh, when? So
score 1 for Chipper.
1 beer and 1 chaw was all I had on golf.
That's
like hole number sober. 2 that's basically sober.
Sounds like hole number 2 for Chip and Stern.
So, and I thought it was fun, but it was also a different type of golf. And it was too nice. I would feel bad if I had to pay my money.
For us, like even the company attorney, which we're supposed to behave.
Yeah.
We're like, no.
Now that's fun. And that's coming up in
October.
Did we do a summary podcast about that? I'm pretty sure we did.
We did.
We'll link it in the show notes on chipandsternshow.com. But every year, CERN's company holds a golf tournament.
Pretty close to your house, right? Antioch?
Oh, the potential. We did okay. Oh, it's a best ball.
The scramble tourney.
That was fun. That was I liked that style because it was like, Cerny, we need a good drive out of you or whatever.
Don't choke.
And everyone, even though it was a foursome, we were all rooting for ourselves and stuff. So it was really fun.
Even remember Joe was getting pissed because we hit the reverse, the reverse beep on the backswing, and he was like doing the backswing, and he'd stop like, we're on the same team, you fucking morons.
Joe, we don't care. It's just funny.
Yeah. I'll take the team down for a joke.
Wait, so that was Dana, Joe, and me, Chip and Cern.
Yeah, team.
I can't. That will be fun. That will be fun for sure this year. And
Larry Bird step aside.
Who was that dude? If you don't want to talk about it, who was the guy that like they did a closest to the pin and he totally fucking lied about it?
Oh,
and he's like notorious about that, right? You were telling us about that, yeah.
He's actually in trouble right now. So
for lying, yeah, okay. But I mean,
it's supposed to be working, and he took a hike.
Oh. There was this best ball. There's tournament, and certain holes had like closest to the pin. You win $500 or whatever.
Yeah.
What did this guy say? He got like 4 inches or something.
Yeah, I know.
Bullshit like that.
I didn't. And he was ahead of us. Remember, he was the one ahead of us. And I was like, I didn't see no divots.
Right.
There was nothing. Like,
and literally, they go. I don't know the guy's name, but they're like, "Oh, closest to pin. Oh, Bob Smith," and everyone went, like in unison. Everyone was like, "Oh," this groan, like, "Sure, this bull." Sounds like he's the company bullshitter or whatever.
Coincidentally, we'll see use his first name. His name is Joe.
Oh. Does he enjoy Coors Lights?
I don't know.
That was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for that tournament. And we'll have we try to have Joe on for this pod again, but we will need to pin him down for the
we'll probably
golf
have to hog tie him
Should
down.
we do like a pre-game
and a post-game?
Ooh,
there you go.
That would be good. That was a lot of fun that we had.
We'll hook up the equipment in the car on the ride up there.
Oh, fuck. Hours of material. It was good though. That was a lot of fun. So
it was.
Stone Tree Golf Club in Novato. It's a Bay Club property.
Oh.
Beautiful place. Rating 4.5 stars out of 62 ratings. It's a 18-hole 72 par. The length is 6,782 yards. The slope is 138. I don't know what that means, but it must be good. It's built in 2000.
Wow.
Bent greens, year-round golf season, public course. The architects, Sandy Tantrum, Johnny Miller, and Jim Summers.
Wow.
Does that mean anything to you, Cern?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
But it has an architect.
It does. I know that's you. It must be important if there are architects listed on it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't love greens. The architect is.
Yeah. Jose Hernandez.
I was about to say that.
Architect John Deere, doing most of the labor, doing most of the work around here. It was. I sent Cerny like a video message, and
I was like, holy shit.
It was like really fucking nice, and I was like, I don't belong here. And I'd rather not. I'd rather golf at the place by your house, or even lower than that, so we can go fuck around. But yeah, it was fun. So, I think Joe. We should get Joe out for a game.
We'll do it.
And I felt like I ran out of steam after 9 holes. Maybe we could just do 9 or something. I know Joe he'd probably call our bluff on that, but we have kids. We can't be gone for 6 hours anymore on Saturday morning. Joe, different story. # bachelor life. # cock blisters. Yeah. So I guess if you have
golf,
we're
promoting that pod. It's # cock blisters.
Cock blisters. And then # pull out stuff. So now one thing that I did wear golfing was my Chip and Cern Show hat.
I do like to wear that golfing.
And
hiking.
Actually, Joe sent us a text this morning. He was golfing, and he had his Chip and Cern Show lid on too.
He did.
And where did he get that from, Cerny?
chipandcernshow.com/shop.
He had a discount code, but yeah, we have hats, T-shirts, stickers.
There is a discount, not the same one.
Yeah,
it is Black Friday discount.
Oh, that's always deep discounts on Black Friday. Yeah, shoot us a tweet, send us a Facebook message, show us some love, and we'll throw you some whatever.
You'll be rewarded.
Stale inventory. Yeah, and if you feel like supporting us, throw us a couple bucks, $5-10 a month. Check out our Patreon. That's just search Chip and Cern Show on Patreon, and that gives us a reoccurring financial backing, sort of, which is always appreciated. And
if you want to communicate, it's chipandcernshow@gmail.com. If you want to email us, don't want to communicate with us publicly.
We'll keep it on the DL. And if you are a YouTube person, we have a YouTube account.
Oh, yes. That's
we
right.
get a couple subscribers on there. Always get some comments. I'll try to interact on YouTube.
Haters.
We got the haters on there.
Hey, haters!
Mostly on the Steve Avery
Yes.
thing. We should do another pod just to fucking resurface all these fucking jamokes that we get on
calling
there.
us fucking retards
Yeah.
or whatever they're calling us.
Well, we were playing both sides.
We were.
And they actually released the Dossie kid.
They did.
saw.
Brendan Dossie.
Hashtag
Free Dossie.
yeah, free Dossie. Anyway, I had fun at the bougie golf course, and we're looking forward to golfing with CERN later this year.
I am.
I'm too. Anyway, until next time, I am Chip.
I'm CERN.
Cheers.